Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Let me welcome you to this another episode of the Saudichress Show. And tonight must have been a special night for Saudichress to be going live on a Tuesday night. Customary you'd see this type of show on a Wednesday, but of course, the itinerary is so packed. We have to fit them in here and there. So of course, you would have known our topic. You see where we're at. And right here in studio, as you are seeing right now, live with me, is no other than one of our own, an educator here in Jamaica, and by extension, Mr. Eaton McNamee, who is one of the candidate elect for JTA President of 24-25. I got that one right, sir. But I don't want to get anything else wrong. So welcome to the Saudichress Show, Mr. McNamee.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, sir. As customary, and I know that you're a man who wear many hats, and I don't want to miss anything. But in short, can you give us, your own little an introduction, so to speak, a little profile of who Mr. Ethan McNamee is? In short, the floor is yours, sir.
Eaton McNamee is a son of the soil of St. Thomas, residing now in Manchester. He's a minister of religion in the Church of God of Prophecy. Uh, I serve on several boards and committees in different organizations, 4-H clubs, the Windsor Lad Children's Home, Manchester Peace Coalition, among others. Also, I am a family man, a husband of one wife and a father of two girls. Um, I have taught at all levels of the education sector, from early childhood up to tertiary. I have served at all levels in the JTA. I been a contact teacher, a district president, parish president, national chairman. In fact, that probably the only position that I have not served in yet is presidency of the National Association, and that
Wow.
is and that is my aim at this point. So I would have come with a wealth of knowledge and experience in the education sector, along with JTA sector. And so I would have been I've been an advocate. I can't say all my life, but for most of my life, I have been an advocate advocating for teachers' rights. I would have been seen on the conference floor championing the cause of teachers. At every meeting, even with the Ministry of Education, I've been championing the cause of teachers and education system, better working conditions, better remuneration, technology for us in the classrooms, and all of those things. I'm no stranger to the cause. I am well seasoned for this, and I am ready.
Ready indeed, Mr. McNamee. Sir, you have a whole lot. I wonder what would have or what can stop you this year, with that experience you have more so in the JT. It's really quite alarming. I never knew that you were such a long serving member, not just a long serving member, but right across the spectrum are the different position in the JT. Good night. We have Percy, and I want to welcome everybody in the chat, everybody in YouTube land. Remember, as soon as you come on, people, hit the subscribe button if you have not yet done so, and so you'll be able to participate in the live chat. And also, I will share my number, which you can call for short, just some short calls if you want to pose a few questions or a suggestion, not just to me, but of course to our guest this evening, or should I say tonight. Now, sir, into the meat of the matter, I know that you have been all over, media, right across the spectrum, whatever media you are. I know that you are ready and willing to serve. But I'm going to really chime into what I see as your manifesto, what you have put out, and what you think you really can get across the government, different ministries to which you intend to lobby on behalf of the teachers. You know, one of the things is that your first point, and you talk about partner with MOA and MOF, yes, and all the different ministries to create that entrepreneurial initiatives for teachers in farming. Sir, talk to us about that.
That's one of the point, not necessarily the first point, but that's one of the point.
Well, that's the first point I'm
Yeah.
going at.
Okay, so we do have teachers in the system with the ability. to venture into entrepreneurial activities. And so, if it is that we have those persons who want to do so, I believe that the opportunity should be created, the avenue should be created for them to venture into such, because we know, sir, that one salary is difficult to run any household in Jamaica at this particular time. And if you have a talent that is beyond, that is exceptional, that is not necessarily the talent that you are using for your mainstay, and you want to venture into it, I believe that the ministry, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Agriculture could come together, partner to assist the teacher in establishing themselves in such business. Because, of course, we have quite a few teachers now in business, struggling to keep themselves afloat because people are trying other ventures in order to survive. So once, especially in the STEM areas, I spoke with some teachers yesterday in the STEM areas. They are agriculturalists, there are designers, persons who make soap, perfume, and that sort of thing. We see them having their display at teachers in business. So if it is that the teachers have the impetus, the want to do those things, then I believe that the opportunity should be provided for them to get the proper guidance and the funding to venture into those businesses. Because, of course, those businesses can only help the ministry. Let us look at those children now, students now, who we have in the sewing industry. There is almost nowhere for them to get any practical experience. So if it is that somebody creates a business like that, then it would provide an avenue for the students to get that practical hands-on experience if they are interested in the fashion industry. Just to mention one.
But farming, I'm really interested in that one.
Yes.
Farming. I mean, what would be the steps, yes, to put forward to the government? How will we be able to access lands, yes, per se, and tools and equipment for
Yes.
farming?
So I am actively involved in 4-H. So I would have known that through 4-H there is an initiative to pass lands to younger farmers, and we could channel through 4-H for teachers, where there are lands available. The teachers could get those lands. Those teachers who are interested could get those lands for that purpose, and at minimal cost. And also startup cost would be able to or even not necessarily minimal cost either, at no cost. So startup cost and so for materials and equipment would be made available to the teacher, and the teacher could venture, start selling back to government, so government can do export, or the teacher could go, teachers could form a business and go into egg. We do have teachers at this moment who are really doing a lot in farming. In fact, I spoke with one last week on my campaign who told me that she's now coming out of the classroom because she's
Wow,
venturing into farming as a full-time business because it pays more.
wow,
So
interesting.
yes, yes.
You mentioned that, sir, and a lot of teachers, a lot of persons would have said before in conversations that they really believe whatever they do on the side tend to pays a little more. I am sure paying a little more, yes, but I don't think some of those would have given them the benefits to which they are presently enjoying as teachers.
But so that's why I said it's a sideline business, something that you do on the side. Something, because farming is not necessarily, you don't have to take it up full time if you don't want to. But let me tell you though, even though what benefits are there though in the system that can outweigh the monies that you could earn in a nice farming business.
Mhm. Okay, all
There,
right.
there are really none. If you compare, there is really none.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I want to big up Naka again. Big up yourself, Naka. And Carlton, you're there. Carl, you're there. Carlton and Carl, I guess, is the same person. Let me know if you're two different persons or you're just switching around. I don't know. But thank you for joining. People, continue. Remember to hit the like button as you come in and join the show. Don't be afraid, man. Be a part of it. All right. So, sir, listening, and you would have known that I've had quite a number of your I don't want to say opponents, but your fellow candidates on the show before. And many of you right now is saying the whole aspect of lobbying the government, yes? Lobbying. We picked up, and I would have said, in my view, this present government, or any government at all, when it comes on to teachers, it doesn't seem that we can really push along to get what we really wanted for our teachers. But you want teachers to pass laws, or you want the government to pass laws, yes? And violent attacks on our teachers, terrorism against the state. Really, sir, do you think teachers in general, as it relates to Jamaican teachers, are valued that much?
Well, when you look at what is happening now,
Mhm.
so you know that teachers are migrating left, right, and center. So if it is that any government is serious about education, teachers are even I just received a call from a principal that one of her teacher just dropped dead. And in Jamaica, we would say just get up and dead.
My God.
And it is happening across the sector, just like that. Teachers are stressed.
You're saying
Because,
this news is just for today, sir? You have
just
that
for
this
today.
news today?
Just a while ago, I saw it and I got the call while driving in. And so we have to put more value on our teachers if it is that we are serious about growing our country, because there's no country that can grow without a real solid education system. You talk about getting quality politicians who are educated. If the teachers are not there to teach them, how will they get educated? We talk about getting quality doctors, quality nurses, quality entrepreneurs, and if teachers are not there to teach them, how is it that these people will grow and flourish into budding excellent politicians, excellent business people, excellent doctors, excellent lawyers? So any country that is serious about its growth
Hmm.
and development must be serious about education. So you have to place value on the teacher. And so one of the things to stem the violent attacks on teachers, it is so that we make sure that those persons pay for what it is that they do. One of the things, that really caused crime to really balloon in our country, is that when you think about somebody killing somebody at that level, what is the worst that can happen to that individual? And so, because of the minimum or the minimal effect that it is going to have on you, and the penal system is so weak, it makes crime a very lucrative business, because people are not seeing there is absolutely a 90% chance that you will not be caught. And even if you are caught, there's a 90% chance of you getting out in a few years or a few months. So
So there's a real stress, there's a real grassroots or foundation problem in that. Because when you look at it and you talk about, I want to say that to you, sir, and to our listeners. My view, in our parliament, over the years, I've been watching parliament here. We have a number of teachers and lecturers in the parliament, and it's no short today either. But if the persons who are there, who we are asked to represent us, yes, they're not speaking out for teachers, or they are not serious about it. And maybe that's one of the reasons I believe it's so difficult for us to lobby and to get these needs. But sir, I'm gonna ask you though, even though you have so many points to talk about and as it relates to lobbying, in the event, and these are a number of points, so maybe if you don't get all of them, that's fine. If you find that you're unable to get the government to budge for these points, what other actions would you take?
Well, you see, when I campaign, I tell the teachers that, once you vote for McNamee, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to go the full length of the mile with McNamee if you want McNamee to represent you. In 2002, when we were at the MICO, and it's in the Gleaner archives. We were at the MICO, and Dr. Packer, the then principal, said some crude things about us as students. On the front page of the Gleaner, you will see McNamee with some other students. putting a padlock on the gate and locking out the principal until we got some answers that we needed. Sometimes you have to take drastic measures to get the response that you need.
So are you saying that you're prepared to lock out the government out of God knows?
I'm prepared, along with the teachers, to do whatever it takes because we love education, you know.
Yes.
We love education, and that is why we are in it. But one of the things, though, sir, is that I plan to ensure that you know, when you approach government with any form of negotiation, you go with some form of solutions. You don't just identify the problems and put it in the government's hand. You ensure that you go with some solutions to the issues that are at hand. And hence, at this stage of the JTA, at this stage that we are in, it requires someone who knows the issues, understands the issues, and can articulate the issues.
Sir, I tell you, these points that you have here are so interesting. I'm telling you the truth, and many of our teachers who will be watching and listening and will be holding you to task. But I want to look at this, which is very important, and especially over the past year or so, where this whole aspect of negotiation or realignment of teachers. And I know that you want to get there because many teachers they're listening to these points, but they're not so much interested. I myself are not so much interested in some of these points. What I want to hear are what many teachers want to hear. And I will tell you that. They want to hear is about the dollars and cents. But anyway, if you don't have that, things rough. And you may mention that this little one salary can't cut it. But literacy specialists, special education teachers, to be considered as special or special responsibility, post of special responsibilities, and you want them to be paid as such. Do you think that would wake up a can of worms?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because all it would mean is that they are paid as senior teachers because they would have had senior responsibilities. So they are now paid as senior. So they do not affect the regular quota of senior teachers. The position that they hold just automatically places them into a senior management role. It doesn't affect the quota of the regular system. So it does not affect any other teachers in the system.
Oh, okay. All right. I hope so because I know that teachers are waiting for their little appointment, to move up the ladder. Very few, or should I say, that we don't have a lot of scope in terms of promotion in the classroom, but that is
Yes,
how it is, right?
and that's another thing. And sometimes we have to think outside the box. I think maybe it's opportune time that we probably appoint now a senior teacher for. Possible we can approach a senior teacher for where the responsibilities, because even though we have these senior teachers, senior teacher 1, 2, and 3,
Yes.
the issue is that the senior teacher doesn't because of the amount of responsibility that the teacher has to take on in order to get let's say a senior teacher 3,
Hmm.
then it takes away from the teacher's ability, I think, to really fully supervise those persons in his or her care to supervise. So taking away some of the responsibilities would mean better supervision. Better supervision would mean better outcome. Better outcome would mean a better education system. So sometimes we just have to think differently, and there's a limited scope in the education sector for upward mobility. There's only one principal in the institution, and sometimes over 100 teachers. So there's very limited scope. So we have to think of ways that they launch a master teacher thing, and it's almost like a pie in the sky, where teachers cannot get into the master teacher program, even though they are highly qualified. Those same teachers that are in Jamaica apply for the master teachers program, get a real runaround, migrate. When they do migrate, within a few months or whatever, those teachers are really regarded now as top teachers, getting awards becoming different role models and as being assigned as lead teacher and that sort of thing. And in Jamaica, they cannot get the master teacher because it's like something that you put before the profession, put before teachers, and then you pull it back.
So, you see, these are things that, well, maybe you can tell me. Keep me up to speed, sir, because I've not heard much coming from JT over the years, as it relates to those things. Maybe the discussions are there, but I'm not that, what would I say, on that side of the JTA where I would have heard many things. You people tend to keep a lot of your information away from Saudichress, but if that is so, these are issues that I'm expecting you to take along. All right, sir, this one I'm very interested in, and I'm sure a lot of people will also. You want to fix the existing anomaly with the fee structure so that every member of the JTA, yes, pays the same amount of fees for its membership.
Yes, I mean it's representation, not true.
It
So
is.
each member count one. So I believe that at the rate that we are now, and the calculations can be done, we
Mhm.
have over 20,000 teachers. We could have a flat rate that the teacher pays, and the teacher pays that rate, and that flat rate goes to the JTA. The JTA can run with that money. It can be operated with that money. We could examine the budget and we could look at it. But I can assure you, based on my experience, it can run with that money. What it would do also is that when we get our retroactive change, the money would be flat rate for the JTA just the same, and they would not dig into what it is that we get because you have been paying your due for the year, and because you get $2 extra, now it becomes JTA comes now to get some more out of it. I know some people might not like think it popular, but I know the teachers on the ground, I'm sure the teachers like it because they are the ones who put it forward to me. So I mean, it would satisfy, and I hear teachers, I've been to schools and I hear teachers telling me that if that is the case, then they would rejoin the JTA because they were so upset the last time when that amount of money was taken out of their pay, and I think it was illegal. Some people saying they're going to get lawyer and that sort of thing to challenge the JTA to get back that money that was taken from their salary.
But is it really illegal?
No, no, it's not
Okay.
illegal, not illegal.
It is a legal thing
It's a
because
legal thing. It is
what I
not.
would love for many of us to understand is that the JTA fees are a percentage of our salary.
Yes,
Yes. And so once the salary raise or rise,
yes.
then their fees will
Their
go
fees
in
are
the same direction. But to keep it to one fee, how will you do it? Will you reach a midway between the structure, or you take it at the lower level?
no.
Which side?
We'd have to reach
Oh,
a midway. We'd have to reach a midway
you know,
because we still have to be operational. We have to take operational costs into consideration. We cannot, because we might destroy the organization. We don't want to destroy the organization. We want to be well calculated and keep operational costs in mind. So we know that the money that we have, the money that is coming in, can really run the association, and not run it to wreck.
that means you're gonna ask teachers to pay some more.
Not necessarily more. Can be
But
more.
then, sorry, if you're gonna reach midway, let's put it this way, and I'm gonna use myself. I would have been paying much more than my wife.
Mhm.
Yes, and I'm using my. I don't want to call anybody name or no structure, so I use my name. So I have been paying more as it relates to the percent, not the percent, but the monetary value. Yes, than what my wife is paying to JTA. Now, if you are saying that you want to level that playing field and having one thing, you're gonna ask my wife now to step up to reach midway between myself and my wife as it relates to the fees.
No,
But teachers don't want to pay anymore. They want to pay less or remain where they are.
yes, but at this time, I don't think any teacher pays below $2,500.
No, no, we got, well.
I don't think any teacher pay below 2,005.
So you are saying to me that you'll keep that $2,500 at the rate?
Now, the teachers will have to decide.
Oh.
You're putting the power in the teachers' hands. You educate them and you put the power in their hands and they
Hmm.
make the decision. Because
All
remember,
right.
JTA is a member organization. We are the owners of the organization. So if we see where it can, our organization can work
Mhm.
with us paying that sum of money, then I believe we could make that decision.
So you know what happened?
Mhm.
It is very interesting the way you put it across. But I want to go a little bit further now, and I want to go to the points that our teachers are looking forward to. Yes? Salaries or benefits. Our last year, was it last year? After the realignment of our teachers, even on my show, sir, every teacher, yes, or should I say every classroom teacher, have stated how much they were disappointed in what they are getting or what they have received. Now, the big point is, can the government do more?
Well, if the government is serious about education, it obviously means that the government has to find a way to do more. Because what is happening now, you see the migration. You think we've seen migration yet? As we speak, there are teachers doing final preparations to leave the island come July, August. They are gone again. Enough is not coming out of the system to continue replenish the market. And so what happens is that teachers in schools are being asked to do extra work, take on extra sessions, and
Mm.
that is causing burnout and killing our teachers. So teachers who don't want to go. They are going to be boxed in, and they will just have to decide that they have to go. Because I know teachers who cry tears, literal tears, when they have to pack up and leave because they really can't do any better. Because the salary that they're getting, it just cannot make ends meet.
So you're predicting that this year we'll have a higher percentage of teachers or a
Yes, it is
larger
happening.
number of teachers
It is happening.
migrating.
Remember, England wants us. US is clamoring. I think Scotland just joined the market the other day. Dubai,
Wow.
Cayman, some other Caribbean islands. Everybody, because of the quality of Jamaican teacher, and because of one of the factors that we speak English. So not many teachers across the world can manipulate English the way we do. So
Okay.
we are hotbed on the market, and the market is driven by supply and demand. So you have to ensure that you raise the politician's salary to how many to about over how much percent to attract the brightest minds in politics. Now, how are you going to have the brightest minds in politics and not have the brightest minds in education? If the brightest minds are not in education, then it simply means that we are going to have a country going downhill.
I don't think that's a problem for them, or for us, because of course the brightest minds are in education, no doubt about that. But they have not just been sorted out properly. They have not just been
But we can't
considered.
retain them.
Yes.
Remember, as a principal, when you get a teacher fresh from college, and you would have groomed that teacher, and that teacher would have grown for 5, 6 years, and you see that teacher now blossoming and really performing, and the children are learning,
Mhm.
the learning environment is ripe, and you see that teacher hands you a resignation, it is like you get a stab in your heart because you know that it is difficult to replace such a teacher. You have to start from scratch again with a fresh one from college, and the cycle goes on. So it's stressful on the principals as much as it's stressful on the teachers. Because
I
when the
wa-
teacher send in the resignation, it is stressful. I have not experienced any of that yet. Thanks be to God.
well, I don't want to say welcome to the club yet, sir, but continue to pray.
Yes, I keep praying and I try.
'Cause,
You see,
you know,
what I do, I know the salary is not good, but when I was a classroom teacher, my thought process tells me that I have a set of students before me. And
mhm.
those students, when they get up in the morning, when mother or father call them, It's either that they are going to say, school again or school again. And I am responsible to create that environment.
Yes.
So I used to have my children coming to school every day because I took responsibility to create the environment for them to want to come. Because remember, they are sent, Now, as a principal, I now take the responsibility to create the environment where when my teachers get up in the morning, they feel like they want to come to work. It's about
Wow.
relationships. It's about creating that environment where they are free to be themselves, to operate autonomy in which they operate within their sphere, to perform their duties in a way that they don't feel bridled.
So, sir, the salaries,
The salaries.
the bands, the scales. I have been so much informed and, a sort of convinced that, and I'm going to use the classroom teachers because that is the big point.
That's
Yes?
the base.
Yes, it is.
It's a base.
What do you make of these bands that the classroom teachers, or all teachers for argument's sake, are placed on?
Now, when you look at when you examine the bands, you see, and I don't know if anybody look at it that way, is that we were scattered in the old system. We were scattered because of our years of experience. So some of us would have been at the 10th level in the scale,
Yes.
but now we come into different bands. And even if you were at the 10th level, you realize that very few or nobody passes the 4th level. And if you look beyond the 4th level, you will see some money over there. I don't know if anybody studied to look beyond level 4 on any band. There is more money over there. But if you notice, everybody's stuck between levels 1 to 4 on the band. If we were placed point to point, we would have been better off. Teachers would have been better off because they would have been now compensated for their experience. And it is an insult to teachers to tell us that after 20 years of service, you do not value our years of experience. So you place us where you want to place us and tell us that experience does not matter. It's a barbaric system that does not really look or really value experience, because of course experience matters in the education sector, because the more experienced teachers, of course, you must be better at your craft than the newly minted teachers. You must be better at your craft. If you're not better at your craft, is that you don't want to be better. But practicing over the years, you would have been better. So you have to pay people for their experience. There is no jurisdiction that I know that doesn't pay people for qualification and experience. Even just the other day, I look at Georgia new salary scale, you see? And when you look at the new salary scale that Georgia is now offering, it will be really a war to get into that system, because a teacher who has 15 to 20, probably 15, 20 years experience and as a master's degree is now earning between $90,000 to $100,000 per year, which is
That,
way how many times above what a teacher in
that's the question I wanted to ask. Let me hear it because I know the teacher's looking at it and I want to
the
hear it too.
teacher, the teacher earned between 19 to 20,000 US. So basically, those with the masters and so probably go to 21, 20, somewhere there about. So when you compare that to 90, and Georgia is a special state, so you really can use Georgia as
As a
but you
prime
just keep
example.
it as a prime example, because really and truly the other states like a $40,000 for between 45 to 50, somewhere there about is a base, but it is still 2-3 times what the Jamaican teacher earns.
So you smile and hear it.
Yes, is like it's like cruelty to the teacher, and expect the teacher to come on. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. What happened to teachers, sir?
Mhm.
You have a $50,000 budget, right?
Yes.
And you have $45,000. You try to pare something off the budget, and there is nothing you can take off that budget. You cut, you pierce, you peer, you pull back, you this, and there is absolutely nothing you can take off that budget. You know what the teacher does?
Mhm.
The teacher goes to the credit union, get the $5,000 and fill the gap. You know, when month end come, what happened to the teacher? The teacher is now getting 42 because they begin to pay the loan. And you're still at the $50,000 budget. So you continue, your bottom line continue to deplete. And your standard of living is depleting with you. And also your health now begins to deplete because blood pressure begins to raise. Because you can't meet the demands. It's wicked. It's a hard task at the
But
end of the month to try to stretch dollar. Dollar can't stretch. As much as we talk
so
about,
these new notes cannot stretch, sir.
the dollars can't stretch.
Oh,
$100 can't buy more than what $100 can buy. And I think that is what we need to present to the government. I think reality should hit our present, or when we're presenting back, a reality check should be there, because it
but
cannot be that you're a first degree holder in a country contributing to society, and at the end of the month, you cannot pay a rent or a mortgage. You cannot buy food. Basic food you cannot buy. You cannot buy. You cannot buy clothes, proper clothes to wear. You cannot send your children to school. That's an indictment. It's cruelty. It's wickedness.
sir, I'm gonna ask you this because you have been sounds very passionate. But in 2023, sir, you were a member of the Salaries and Condition of Service.
Yes.
Is it right for me to say that you would have been part of the group that would have negotiated?
All
Am I
right. So
right?
I was a part of the group, right?
Yes.
All the JTA systems, and that is why I'm happy you mentioned that,
Mhm.
because all the system is structured, right?
Yes.
Is that we have a salaries and conditions of service committee.
Mhm.
Now the committee is elected at the first general council meeting.
Okay.
Now at that meeting, you find that the chairman is selected by the president, and then the other members are elected by general council. I was one of those who was elected to share, to be on the team. Now, after that happens, interest groups, the guidance and counselors group, the science group, the primary principal groups, JAPs, all groups of teachers, all teacher groupings are written to elect a member or select a member to represent their interest on the salaries and conditions of service committee. That committee now meets with the Minister of Finance. The president leads, and the salaries of conditions of service chairman, they lead such. You might have ideas, sir, as a classroom teacher, and you have good ideas, and you share
But,
it with your principal. But if your principal not buying to your idea can't pass that stage.
but hold on, sir. But what I'm trying to get at, and I don't want you to try to skip around it, because I'm gonna really knock you with this one. As a part of this committee, and,
Mhm.
and as of such, not necessarily at the time when you meet with the Minister of Finance or Education, but how difficult it was at that time for the committee to see all these crazy or so-called madness position of the government, knowingly that if the teachers who have been working for 20 plus years, yes, would have brought down to those who worked
Mhm.
for 3 and 4 years, and there were no experiences. Nobody look at the experience of the teachers. Is it that now you are seeing the light, or it was there before in your part?
It
Did
was
you
there
try
before.
to make an attempt to your president to say, look at it this way, Mr. President?
It was here before. It was argued. But at the end of the day, one of the things, and I can be very blunt with this, one of the things that really was against us in the
Mhm.
last group is that we we did not um, find time to be on one accord. Yes, about the teacher's business. So hence, that experience teaches me that we have to now think outside of the box. We cannot continue to do the same thing and expect different result. We now have a we now have brighter politicians. We now have politicians who are well calculated, and and I might say ahead of us. So what we have to do is we have to get ourselves up to date with 21st century standard negotiations. The old system doesn't work. Maybe, just maybe, we are now at a stage, even though we have the big JTA, we are now at a stage where we probably have to consider getting some external assistance
To join the JTA
to
or to
join the
represent the
team.
JTA.
Yes, because obviously something went wrong in the last negotiation, as you have rightly said. Too
Terrible.
many oversight, too many things, too many oversight. And the teachers are the ones who feel the blunt.
So what changes, sir, away from getting overseas assistant? Because I don't see that in the near future. But
External, of course. There's
external,
a
I don't see that because of the structure of how I believe
no,
JTA is set up.
no. That's how you believe. But the structure, you see, one of the things that I plan to do, you see, teachers,
Yes,
as you say, you don't have a lot of information. Teachers are not well informed about the processes of the JTA.
yes.
Teachers don't know how JTA operate. So I go around and I campaign and I beg teachers vote. I visit school. No, when I become president, I believe it is my responsibility to ensure that the persons whom I serve are educated to the processes of the JTA. So we do have enough money that we can go and of course ensure that we we get our teachers up to speed with what it is that the
Mhm.
JTA entails, their rights, their responsibilities. Because teachers always say, the JTA. The JTA is not the JTA, it's our JTA. Because every month, if you check your salary, there is an amount that is taken from your salary to run the JTA. So we are part owners. We are owners, in fact, of the JTA. We employ people, we employ the secretariat to serve us. So teachers don't understand those. There are several things that teachers need to understand how the processes work, how unionism work, and that is where I think we're gone wrong. We are now focused on so much professionalism that we are forgetting that we are a union. We are forgetting our main role, that we are a trade union. We are now competing with the Ministry of Education with professional development workshops when we don't have any industrial relation workshops.
But hold on, sir. But as it relates to that, I would have thought that the JTA would have had the major responsibilities to carry out those industrial relation workshops.
It should be. It's our
It should.
responsibility to educate our members.
And what I don't understand, and I might sound a bit um, ignorant, but is there a difference between a union and an association?
Well, we are a union. I don't. I know we're a trade union. First and foremost, we are a trade union.
Sir, for you,
There is the professional development arm, and there is the union, what we call industrial relations arm. What is happening, or what has happened over the past few years, is that the professional development arm has emerged with a stronger arm than the union arm, industrial relations arm. So our members are not educated in industrial relations.
so sir,
Union operates.
under your leadership, can we get the JTA, yes, to one of two things? We get rid of the A and add a U. Because, in my humble estimation, we are not a union,
Because
we
of
are an
the term.
association. So we just pay dues and we what would I say now, bring or build camaraderie among ourselves, even though sometimes it seems like there's none.
Well,
But the union aspect, and I've seen where trade unions, every different group are called the union,
union.
yes?
Yes,
But the JT, and maybe because of that, we are so weak in taking these actions that we believe we ought to.
yes. Because we are called an association and not a
And
union.
I think that's a big problem in this bit.
Well, I need to do some research on that to see why we are called an association
Yes,
and
I think we need to look
union.
at that very much.
We
But
never
sir,
thought of that.
me still want to get back to the band thing.
But presently, though, presently,
Mhm.
as we speak, I'm a part of the study circle now. And what it is that
Okay.
we are doing is we are proposing
Hmm.
a union week where members are that week is unionism. Members are educated. We have union. We have all different kind of activities for the week. So members become educated about the operations of our union. Members are empowered. Remember, empowered members mean stronger union. I mean more work. It means more work for the for the officers.
Yes.
But so it is the political arm's responsibility to ensure that members are educated. Because I mean, if I know that you get educated, it's going to be more work for me. Me not go push for that. So it's the political arm has to gear itself, which is led by the president. And anything that the president wants done can be done as long as the members agree, as long as the members buy into it.
but but there are so many things that the members bought into last time and they never get it.
No, but the members, no, not buying into my vision.
Yes.
But when the time comes for the action to be taken, members have to be there to support the action to say, yes, we approve this. We want this done. The funding must come forth for this activity to take place.
Mhm.
Members decide that.
All right. So sir, listen to what I'm asking.
Mhm,
The band to which we found ourselves,
mhm.
and we said that the classroom teachers are around band four, right?
And for
Band four. Now, some studies were out. There are
yes,
studies out there. I think there are three different studies that would have
yes.
looked at how to classify or to align the teachers. From the two that I have seen and read,
Mhm.
they would have put the teachers somewhere between band six and band eight.
Yes,
Am I right?
very much so.
What is your plan? And how will you get the government in your negotiation time to really get the teachers aligned there?
The issue with this study, is that the study was done for all public sector workers.
Mhm.
It's not a teacher study. The section for teachers was taken out, and there were some recommendations. The recommendation was that the classroom teacher with a first degree be placed at band six, and
Yes.
the senior teachers or middle managers be placed at band eight. Now, if that were so, I would be so happy because as a principal, I have to be placed above that. So I cannot lose. Yes, and any principal would be happy if that if it occurs like that, because of course you cannot be placed below who you supervise. So of course you'd have been placed at a higher level. So more money in your pocket, and nobody wants to box money out of their pocket at this time. But looking at it though, the other public sector workers, there was also recommendation for them too. And
Yes.
of course, according to what played out, the recommendation wasn't honored for any public sector grouping. So what makes us special as teachers that we can now go back and say, honor this because this says so. The study itself, we know, was commissioned by government. Government knows the study. Government plays with the figures in the study. Government know everything about this. There's nothing about the study that you can show Dr. Clark. No, that he doesn't already know. So my thrust is to do a cost of living survey. Our teachers are migrating left, right, and center. I don't want to go into the pool of public sector workers. We are special now. Take us out as special grouping because we are special because of the fact that we are hotbed and we are needed across the world. Education is in a mess. Some principals try to make it look good by stretching the teachers, giving them extra sessions, and it's killing the teachers. So and we have some RE teachers teaching mathematics. We have some English teachers teaching science.
Are they doing a good job?
Doing a good job where we're not getting that out of the education system, because if they were doing a good job, it would have meant that we would have still seen the CSEC grades booming. We would have seen more graduates graduating with more subjects. But it is diminishing. So
Right.
it goes to show that that is not happening. So doing that survey now, sir, living in Jamaica, anywhere you live, as a teacher, as I say, you should be able to afford a rent or a mortgage. Should be able to afford a car if you want. Should be able to afford a vacation. Should be able to buy food. Send your children to school. Those are some basic things. So you have to have a base to go to government with. After you do your calculations, a base to say that let us begin the teachers at X base after tax. We're not looking, the study was done, yes, and you didn't honor the study. So let us now look at a different avenue. Let us take it to a different level, because no other sector can now complain that they didn't get what they were, that the teachers got what was recommended, they didn't get it. So we can go with our different approach to the government to convince the government that the teachers cannot survive and what it is that we are getting at the moment.
Sir, as an experienced person in the JT understanding the salaries, and I'm sure you are better equipped to talk about these bands and scales more than I do, or points. There's a food for thought, and there are some persons who have said that and would compare particular or different careers or different industry with teachers. Yes? Let's say the police. Big up yourself, Tom Stranger. Yes, and I guess. All right. I heard it time and time again that the persons in the same qualification bracket
Mhm.
as teachers who are in other medium. Let's take it for example, a nurse or a police. In that level of qualification or promotion status, yes, they are better paid than teachers. Why is that so if all the public sectors would have placed on a particular band?
You mean our public? You mean the public sector workers who are now
Hmm.
being better paid than
Yes,
teachers? With
and
the
they are on the
same,
same band.
well, one of the thing that hit us hard in the last negotiation is, I think what happened is a divide and conquer strategy that we fell into.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
understand that one.
divide and conquer, and the divide and conquer strategy was to put the teachers against the principals. So when it is that the principals were moved up,
Mhm.
what should have happened? Communication should have been tipped up. What should have happened is that the powers that be should have calmed the seas, speak with the teachers, let the teachers know that yes, we are happy. You have placed principals where we think they ought to be. Fine, we don't have a problem with that. Now it is time to look at the teachers. Now it is time to place the teachers up where they ought to be. But we didn't do that. We
But you
end
never have the time to do it, sir. Everything was handed down at the same time.
No. So what one of the things that snapped some teachers, is people were fooled by the retroactive, because we were given an ultimatum to
Yes,
say that if we don't accept, and I cannot believe for the life of me, such a powerful organization as the JTA crumble with
run
such
into that trap.
with such an ultimatum. It cannot be. Our forefathers must be cringing in their graves.
No, sir.
They must
Everybody should
turn
be
in them
cringing
graves.
now because they must understand. They, one of the thing is, sir, and you raise a point there that some of your own um, candidate, yes, I don't want to say opponent, but your fellow candidates would have made mention that they can't continue where principals are representing teachers
Yes.
based on the disparity and the difference between salaries.
Mhm.
And if the principals were satisfactory paid, I'm just using certain terms, yes,
Mm.
you can correct me. But yesterday teachers are not. Is it because it was a principal who at the helm at the JTA as opposed to that of the classroom teachers? So do you say that classroom teachers have a point to say it is time for classroom teacher to represent them?
Definitely not a true statement. In 2008, there was a reclassification. We had grade one principals getting less than senior teachers. So you are supervising somebody and you are getting lesser pay than those persons. And that happened until 2024, 2022. Sorry. That happened until 2022. Nobody, no teacher in any high school wanted to go to a grade one school to be principal.
Especially if they have a senior teacher three.
They had a senior teacher three position. They would not go. And if you don't have at least a senior teacher position, you would not be employed because you would not have had enough managerial experience and supervisory experience. So that was a grave anomaly and it taunted us for years. For years. So it cannot be that we are now going to say that you negotiate for principals and ensure that principals are okay and not ensure that teachers are okay. That cannot be the argument. Also, the president of the JTA is
Mhm.
a creature of instruction. The delegates dictate what the president does, what the president accepts. No president can go in and sign an agreement without being directed by the people, by the teacher. So the and let us then again bring it down to a more narrow perspective. We have 78 district associations.
Yes.
From the 78 district associations, 15 members are elected to represent the delegates of those schools. Now, what is the probability of us having a 5% principal in that group? Very minimal. Principals don't go to the meetings, very few of us. When it comes to the national level, I think it's about 1,000 and something there about teachers
Mhm.
making up the delegate list from the parish, from the DA to the parish. What is the probability of us having a 5% principal in that group? Very minimal. Principals have never made the decision.
So
Never.
y- I understand what you're saying, Mr. McNamee. But saying that to say maybe is a little way to try and comfort the teachers. But the fact of the matter is,
Mhm.
based on what has transpired, yes, what we have seen, it lent to the own ears and minds and eyes of the Jamaican teachers to say, well, the principals are the one that benefited. And what I would have said to some teachers, from ever since, I would have known this whole work. Principals are being better paid than teachers, except the cases that you mentioned in those grade one schools. But if it percentage is of 30% across the board, so the dollar value will be seems greater
Yes,
for the higher.
it's going to be greater.
Yes, so that is one of the things that I look at.
Mhm.
But the reality of it, though, sir, the reality of it, you just make mention that it is the
And
delegates and
likewise
the
too,
team.
sir.
Mhm,
Likewise too. the rate, if the 30% is 30% is going to be bigger for the principals.
Yes.
Likewise, the 30% tax is going to be bigger for the principals.
Yes,
The
man. Everything
5%
going bigger
pension is going to be bigger. The 2.5%, is it 2.5 NHT or what is going to be bigger.
is going to
So
be
you
bigger
get a bigger pull out.
in all aspects. So these are things, and I will say to you people, this is how we need to talk to the people. Yes, and I hope that the persons who are watching can understand and listening, because I have done some research and I keep on saying to people, once you go up by a percentage, yes, in terms of your salaries or even allowances, I leave out the allowances, the deductions, not the personal deductions, yes, is also getting greater.
Statutory.
And people do not look at it this way. But they have a saying that who feels it knows it. And many of
Exactly.
you would have hide where we are at, where we were, and so we continue to look far ahead. But sir, you may mention, I want to say that you may mention that it's the people who've already instructed the
The president.
JTA to sign, or the
Yes.
president. But just to be a little what would I say now? Troublesome. And maybe this is the last time I'm gonna put anything like this to you in this show. The last time when the president who signed, yes, did he under any instruction at all from the people? Because it was sort of confusing the way the president and the Gensec could have gone to sign.
Yes.
Or should I say the president elect at the time,
Yes.
not the president.
So then the articles of association that guides our operations,
Hmm.
see, it gives the president the latitude to sign upon instruction
Yes.
from the delegates.
Hmm.
Once the delegates are once the delegates instruct, if the president is unable to sign, the president elect is in line to sign.
All
If
right.
the president elect is unable to sign, the immediate past president signs. If the immediate past president, then it goes on to the secretary general. So it's a structure.
But that structure never come across. Sir, that was not followed. The term unable, I believe, is different from
But, but
reluctant.
but you cannot get an instruction from your delegate and refuse to obey the instruction.
From who?
The delegates instructed, remember, we went on meeting with the president.
Hmm.
The president instructed us that whatever decision the delegates make, she is willing to carry it out. That
So
is what we were instructed online.
so you're saying that she failed us then?
Well, if it were some union, then I tell you, probably some resignation would have to take place because she would have sidetracked the instruction, and that is the principle. I'm talking about the principle. If she had any issue with the package, she should have informed her constituents. If there's any issue with the package, you call a press conference and inform the constituents that, listen, me, teachers, you instructed me to sign, but you
But
can't just walk away without giving us the information. You leave us now to consider all kinds of things.
no, sir. But you're saying that we had to sign on that day. That's what you're saying.
No, no, no. I am saying that if the president found that there were some reasons or maybe because we weren't privy to the agreement before or after. If she
Hmm.
found out that something was not to her liking, she represents us, not true?
But
She
she
found
may
out that
not say it in words, sir, but she said it in her actions.
no, but when you
Yes,
left,
man.
she
I
left.
don't think she
No,
had
no,
the
no. She
opportunity.
left and she instructed the PE to go and sign.
She did that.
That was the instruction.
No, sir, I didn't hear that. First,
The
I'm
PE
hearing that.
couldn't. The PE
Is the
signs
first
under the
I'm hearing that part,
instruction.
sir.
The PE signs under the instruction of the president.
Sir, I am saying this to you. This is the first I'm hearing that.
But that is how the JTA
The
operates.
P would have said they never state that they sign under her instructions,
Mhm.
but they give the same reason and example why they would have signed. But my view is that they should have backed off as well and said, "Come, Madam President,
But
let's get back to the table." They have that
but
power,
but
and sir, I
I
believe,
I understand.
I
Understand your point, but I am also saying
yes.
that if it is that the president sees that there's some discrepancy and she cannot sign, you ought, and until now, there is not an explanation to the members. There is no explanation to the members. You represent us, and you do not come back to us with an argument. You disrespected us because we instructed you to go and do, and now you go, and whether it's personal or other reasons, you need to let us know.
Well, I understand that, sir.
Yeah, you need
And
to let us know. You're a
these are
teacher of
the
instruction. Remember, when you become president, your views, your thought process cannot represent the people. The people, it the people's wishes
mhm.
filter through you. What we probably need to do is to change the delegate system,
Well, yes,
because
but I
it
mean,
cannot be that we have just a small percentage of this of the 20 odd thousand teachers deciding really for the 20 odd thousand. So maybe we need, and maybe it's a turnaround point. Maybe it's a good thing it happened for us to do some internal introspection now and to analyze where it is we go from here to
so you
avoid any future occurrence.
with that whole decision, that time period, the JTA would have lost quite a number of members.
Yes,
They were disgruntled, they were unclear, they
exactly.
were
Very much
mistreated,
unclear because the
they were
message
misled.
it sent a message that was not clear to the members.
What will you do, sir, to get back all those members and additional
Communication.
members?
As I say, you have to be open to your members. You have to educate your members to the process, and you have to keep communication alive every step of the way. It cannot be that you meet with the minister this week and then you meet, is next week the teachers getting the information. Grapevine is going to send a lot of information before that. So you have to ensure that you control communication. When a member hear anything in the grapevine, the member should be able to say, no, this is not what my president says. But if
And
the grapevine reach the member before the real communication, that is when we have a problem.
all right, I'm looking forward because quite a number of persons would have asked me, what is your stance on the JTA membership? Because I have made a lot of comments, I've done some commentary, but somehow I have still yet to, get sort of that sort of information that would have given me any level of comfort to say things will change for the better in the near future. But so we are depending on you people. And you are saying that if you become the next president, I guess that would have been something in your first 100 days to sort out these things.
To start the education campaign, yes.
Yes, because it's very important.
Yeah, the education is very important. Members need to be educated about the processes of the union. Members need to be educated as to their rights, their responsibilities. Members need to know how JTA as a union operates.
Yes.
And that information is lacking, woefully lacking for whatever reason, I don't know. But that information is woefully lacking. Members don't know how JTA operates.
So let me tell you something what I believe. Most teachers right now, and I want you to let this one clear and give your blessings, explain to the teachers. But before I go, Carly, I don't want you to clarify something.
She's saying grade one
She's
primary school principals, that should be clarified, not just grade one schools. Oh, because you have some grade one high schools.
okay.
Yes, Carlin, thank you so much.
All
We have
right,
some
good.
grade one high schools and we have grade one primary schools. The grade one primary schools were the one that were disenfranchised, not the grade one high schools. Thank you,
Okay,
Mrs. Gavidan. Thank you.
okay, sir. Thank you. No, sir. I want you now to explain to us that and what many believe the JTA only get alive when there is a negotiation period.
Yes.
So that means that is the main reason for JTA.
Mhm.
What is the function, main function that each and every one of us should know and understand JTA.
You cut out just a while
Okay,
ago.
all right. So I'm saying that many of us would have seen the JTA alive and well in
In
the negotiation
negotiation.
here. But there are many other functions. Tell
Mhm.
us, sir, what are some of the main functions that we should know and understand that the JTA should carry out? And I say should,
Yes, that
should
the
carry out.
JTA should carry out. Now,
Yes,
one of the thing, I always say, have we ever had a strike for working conditions?
we know we have strike for salaries.
Salaries. Have we ever had a strike? There are teachers now who don't have a chair to sit on,
I don't believe that, sir.
I've been to school and there is no chair for the teacher to sit on. No chair. The teacher doesn't have a chair. Some schools, the condition is really terrible,
Are you saying to me
but we've never valued that. We
that
value the money.
the school has not given that teacher a chair to sit on, or based on the classroom situation, there's no space to hold another
There
desk?
is no chair in the school for the teacher to sit on. The school doesn't have a chair.
So we can safely say that the teacher stand all day.
Sit on some little stool. Sit on some little stool. The
Talk to us
teacher
about
doesn't
those
have a teacher's
conditions.
chair. So the working condition of the teacher is really, really terrible. And remember, we have to remember that the working condition of the teacher is the learning condition of the student. So that should be a given that the country, the parents should be on our side when we talk about working conditions because it is where they send their children every day.
Mhm.
40, 50 children in these hot environment. How can they learn? I've been to schools where leader teachers are going through menopause. And can you imagine a teacher going through menopause with in a 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 92 degrees environment with 40 children with just a fan that is blowing hot air?
Interesting.
Yes, it's terrible. That is what teachers um really go through on a daily basis in these environment. But
Wow.
other than that, though, the JTA, as I said, there's a lot for professional development,
Hmm.
a lot of professional development. I have benefited a lot from. In fact, I've been the leader I am now.
Yes.
I can credit it to some of
To
JTA's
JTA.
program.
Okay.
Yes, very good. You get some very good opportunity for leadership development, professional development, because the JTA kind of pride itself too in having its members ready, ready in the sense that you are a professional,
Hmm.
you act like a professional. So that is why, when we have these working conditions at the class in the school, you notice that if anybody comes to your school and presenting anything, you find the best part of your school to take the picture to show the media. And the bad part, no, you hide at the back because you don't want anybody to know that that is the
But
condition.
that is a given, even at home. We
So
want
I'm
to
just
put our best foot forward.
with our
So hold
best foot.
on. I want to break for a while. Hold your thoughts. But I have something to share. I've just gotten a piece of news and that we want to share it with the people. So those who are in Jamaica and who are traveling,
Wow.
yes, you can see the screen what you are saying. Right? Impassable. The Bagua Gorge is now impassable. The river is now in a state of it is now flowing over the flat bridge. do not use the Gorge Road at this time. So I'll say to you, not at this time, not early tomorrow morning. All right, people? So take that into consideration. A word to the wise is sufficient. All right? Thank you. Because you know what, sir?
Yes.
Many times, we have been going around and not really seeing what's happening. We're not listening to the newscasts and so on. But people, especially those who travel in St. Catherine, please avoid the Bagua Gorge. All right? Thank you very
Yes.
much.
So all right. So apart from the salaries and things that I said
Mm.
about professional development, the JTA does a lot in regards to helping its teachers to, we are the only union that really does give our members financial assistance when it comes to certain illnesses. And so, in fact, we've launched a critical illness fund for teachers. No money is drawn from it yet, but it is a fund that is growing so
What?
that critical illness. So if a teacher falls ill with any one of those, for example, I hope I don't benefit from such a fund. Uh, I don't want to benefit.
You're a smart man. So,
I don't want to benefit.
but the teachers don't want benefit either.
No
All
teacher
right.
wants. I pray no teacher benefits from that fund. But it's a reality that our
Yes,
teachers
it is
are
a reality.
experiencing
It's a
some real,
reality.
and when it comes to those times, it's difficult for the teachers to really afford certain critical care. And the fund is launched so that it can help. Other than that, on a daily basis, the JTA helps teachers with different things. The JTA offers scholarships for teachers to go and study. The
Few,
JTA
few and far between, sir. Few and far between.
No man, a lot of
I,
teachers benefit from the scholarships. Quite a few.
what
And
percentage?
it's an annual thing,
Yeah, what percentage would you say per
But it's
year?
an annual thing. Over the years, quite a few would have benefited. And it's an annual thing.
Okay. All
So
right.
every year, a certain number of teachers would have benefited. We do awards. We award our teachers in fact, I have benefited. I received an award for excellence in education who have served Jamaican education sector and the JTA for a number of years. So we do encouragement sweet labor. So we do our awards to our members. There are several other benefits that the JTA offers, even sports. Right now, the JTA, when we look at even Tina Clayton and the sister, they would have come up to the ranks. Usain Bolt, they would have benefited from our sports program and have now been and have now become international stars.
So are you saying sports program or sports show? That
Program
the
sports.
program.
Well, yeah, because it remember, it starts at the district association level, where we identify them. Once they are identified there, we
By the
go to
schools.
the we go to yeah, but we go to the parish level.
Hmm.
Once they go to the parish level, training and support is provided, and then we take them to the national level. Once they go to the national level, no, that's where the high schools come in and sweep them away, and then no, they perform for the high schools, and then they now come and to the international scene.
So what I can tell you now,
Mhm.
maybe that is in the past, but the high school not waiting for the national JTA championship to sweep anymore. No, they have,
They come to the
they,
schools now.
they're having them from grade four.
They come to schools now, man.
Yes, yes.
They come to
Continue, sir.
schools now.
Continue. Yes.
They come to schools. So there are several benefits that the JTA really offers. And in fact, even coming up this week, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, is the JTA Sports.
Where, sir?
Just $300 at the National Stadium for teachers to come in and be a part of it. It's a
So
day of relaxation.
hold on. You're giving out too much information. You have to pay me for advertisement now.
It's just
Are
it,
you
it
you're
just
advertising for JT right now, sir?
No, I just want the teachers to come out and relax. Take the day
Okay.
and come and relax. It's a day of relaxation where you put on your dress nice. You don't have to put on jacket and tie and spike heel. You relax and come and sit in the stadium and look at your students, the one that you taught from grade one, taking the track by storm. Those are some great moments. Those are the fulfilling moments we get from education, Those are the fulfilling moments when you look. Sometimes tears come to your eyes when you look at the seed that you would have sown at such a
Yes.
tender age, and you'd have seen it grown and
Exactly.
bloom. So those are
So,
some of the moments that we must enjoy.
all right. So there's one of your points here
Mm.
that is very political. I don't do politics on this show, sir, but we have to do a little tonight based on your point. You say you want to lobby the government to discontinue the practice of MPs naming board chairman and members of school board.
Yes. And so it is a request that I think we should bring to the fore, because over the years we have realized that that practice has not really benefited the education system. We can assess the practice, it's not political, because remember, it goes across political parties. It
So it's
goes across.
politics.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not political.
It's not political.
Politics, but not political. So it goes across political parties. So having that system in place sometimes hurt the system more than benefit the system. Because when chairmen are politically aligned, they have a certain sense of loyalty, and sometimes that loyalty leads to the head of the institution being selected in a way that does not necessarily benefit the needs of the institution. And
Okay.
that is why, remember, sir, when we have poor leadership in institutions, we can't have good schools. John Maxwell said everything rises and falls on leadership. So if we have poor leadership, we'll have poor schools, because it takes the leadership. It's a hard task, yes, but it takes the leadership to motivate the staff, so that the staff is able to do what the staff is supposed to do. So it cannot be that we have board chairmen who are not educated about the code of regulations, about the processes that takes place within the institution, about appointment of people and all of those things, to be guiding the well-learned principal.
Well, many of them are looking for the guidance from the principals.
In that is where that, and because remember, the principal reports to the board. So what can I report to you, and you're asking me how it is that you should supervise me?
Well, you mentioned to the board, but not to the board chairman. So
The,
since the principal is a part of the
the
board.
board chairman heads the board. So
All right,
if
sir.
we get rid of
But
that process,
the truth, and many would have shared the thought, but in lobbying to the government, we'll have to go back to the same code of regulations that was done in 1980. Because I'm sure that many of these decisions, yes, our policy, were drafted in that very same code. And if we continue to use it, there's no way we'll ever get a chance, yes, for our lobbies to change in that light. There are some aspect of the code that needs to be changed before we can make mention of those, in my view. Any last thing about the code of regulation and the revising of it from the JTA's perspective?
but remember, the code is now being revised.
Yeah, but was where are we
19,
with it?
1980. Not necessarily sure of the where we are with it now, but we know that the 1980 code basically is outdated.
Okay.
And it's
People,
2020, it's 21st century we are in now, that we can't have because remember, even us, some of us, even you, sir, who got your degree 10 years ago, sir, it means that your degree, you know that you are now information older, because the information that you got then
mhm.
is not relevant now, so
Why is
that's
that
why
so?
we have to keep upskilling.
You know, why is that information is not relevant
because
nowadays,
things
sir.
have changed and times have changed. Remember, even in the classroom now, the children come to us. AI is taking over. So even the children come to us in the classroom now. If we are not well informed, they will not be teaching us.
Sir, listen, I have a little different view on that. While I believe that the systems have changed and all of that, but if you're gonna say my degree in 10 years ago may
Mm.
not mean much, that means to hell with my 10 years experience.
No, not your experience. Your
No,
experience.
hold on, because the experience that you gain would have come through some of these studies that we
Not
have
that
done.
no, the experience will come from your degree. Your degree is the knowledge that you gain. Your experience
Yes,
is your
but of
live.
course that also builds on our experience.
Yeah, but
We
it
have
is
learned.
remember, no, nothing is
Mm.
static.
Oh, fine.
Information keep changing. So you
So
can't have
that's
old.
the point.
Yes, nothing is static. So you have to
That's the point.
keep upskilling, and that is why when teachers, when you tell us that you're not paying us for our master's degree, you are telling us that you are dumbing down the profession.
So if by your point, sir, that 10 years degree,
Mhm.
maybe that's why they don't want to pay us in a little thing because it is getting absolute
So you see,
or
we have to
obsolete rather.
remember, even in nursing,
Hmm.
there are certain courses that they have to do, to keep themselves abreast of the new developments. Doctors,
Yes.
police, everybody. So teachers, if we are not kept abreast of the new developments, then what is going to happen is that our students who we are teaching, they are going to be ahead of us.
No, that's a simple thing, simple maths, and we have to know. Look at it. I understand and I respect AI. AI is a very good tool, sir.
Very
I
much
heard
so.
the Minister of Education, Honorable Faval Williams,
Mhm.
would have stated the use of AI is not plagiarism. What's your take on that?
Did she say it wasn't plagiarism or she was asking? Was it that she was asking a question to the
No, no, sir.
which she was saying that the AI is not. Eh?
Tom Stranger, I have to read this one. Mr. Sadi, I like your guest. Sounds like he's talking about something that I agree with. Hope he gets the presidency. He will bring forward these things. All right, boss. So you get a vote that is not here in Jamaica, sir. No, what I am saying, sir,
So, so
I don't. I want,
can you find the clip because I may have interpreted it different from you.
sir. Listen, you're not gonna pull me out tonight.
I may have interpreted it different.
She said it's not plagiarism.
The use of AI is
Yes,
not plagiarism.
plagiarism.
Then why is it though that we have those other AI tools that skim and scan for plagiarism?
Well, it's a good question that you ask, but she's not saying that you are to use AI in its raw sense. I know that's what she meant. And she went further to say that
To explain
you
it.
need to cite, yes,
Oh,
your work.
I remember the clipping now. Yes, she
She
mentioned
goes
that.
further to say that you need to
Yes, she
cite your
mentioned
work.
that the learners need
Right?
to cite their sources, give
Hmm.
credence to their
Yes,
sources.
your sources.
Yes, she
So
did make.
while I understand that, so I was just saying because that statement could have, meant
Yeah,
or people would have seen a
taken
lot
out
of
of
things.
context,
Yes,
would have been dangerous.
good. But let's not go into AI, sir, because I may have some other points. And I know you want to run. I know you're very tired. How many shows you did since week, sir?
A whole heap.
I just want to tell the people them say may I wait for you for 2 months now. I tell them straight because Tuesday night is not my regular show night. Sir, you know, everybody keeps saying that they want the government to this. All the candidates that I have here, and I listen and I look at the manifestos.
Mhm.
They want the government to give people free housing. They want the government to give them car loans at 0%. That is one of your point.
Yes,
You're saying to us,
I'm looking at. Go ahead.
how sustain it? for a government to do that for 22,000 teachers.
All right. So and we have to break it in ranks. I'm saying for housing that the government could introduce what we call a rent to own facility.
Hmm.
Now, that facility, I know it works in other cases. Now, the rent to own facility would mean that the scheme is built, the teacher gets the house, the teacher pays the due rent, the teacher also pays an additional sum towards the closing cost. When it reaches the closing cost, the teacher now begins to pay mortgage. The teacher is the owner of the house. So it's a rent to own facility. And I think that would be a retention strategy because no teacher would leave a house that they are going to own to fly away so easily.
Hmm.
Not so easily.
I
They
don't
would
sure
think
about that.
twice. They would think twice. It would be something to, at least something to think twice about. But presently, there is nothing to think twice about because remember, we don't have any perks in education. There is absolutely none. Previous years, we used to have that teachers don't pay into pension, and it was a little perk. But now we are paying into our pension, so that has been taken away from us. There is no job that doesn't have a perk with it. So I don't want I'm not into the free issue, because I'm a professional. So I don't want to be pitied and to be given anything. I want you to pay me what I am worth so that I can buy what I want. I can live the way I should live. Pay me what I'm worth. That's simply what I'm asking for.
But what is the worth of the Jamaican teachers? How much? And I want to get down to real business now. What is our worth? Apparently, the stakeholders here have not seen the worth of the teachers. And I use it broadly as the stakeholders because it's all about money. And presently, sir, if you could just break down, I don't know if you can give this off the top of your head.
Mhm,
What's the annual salary? Yeah, you're not going to give us point to point.
mhm.
Of say that same degree teacher who is at band between say band two, as
But
opposed to those who are at band four.
we don't have a degree teacher at band two.
You don't. So every all the degree teachers are at band four.
The first degree start at band four.
All right. Nice. So
Mhm.
you clear that up.
Yeah, the first degree starts at band four.
So band four, what's the annual salary like?
I'm not off the top of my head. I am not. I know the beginning teacher at this point should be beginning at least $3 million before tax.
$3 million
I think
before.
that's where it is in the last 2004 rate 3 mil before tax.
I have a sheet, I wonder if I can just jump and
If
get
you
it.
could, you could.
Hold on a second. Just give me 1 minute. All right. So let me see if I can pull this out now, sir.
Mhm.
So the train graduate, you say starts at band four. And we're talking about presently now, since April 2024. That's where we're at.
Yes.
And the first skill, or the first point on band four, yes, that train graduate is at $3 million. All right? You follow?
Yes. Yes.
No, that same degree teacher.
Mhm.
How many? No, I think that will be too much. What I want to get at.
Mhm. Remember, I'm not the Minister of Finance, so don't go.
So yeah, how you going to negotiate with the management?
But I am not the Minister of Finance.
So yes, so that same degree teacher from this
Yes.
first point. If that degree teacher was on point six and band six, he or she would be earning 3.5 over $3.5 million. So
Oh,
therefore, if those teachers should have been at band six
uh-huh.
at this present time,
Mhm.
they would be short $500,000.
All right. So if you notice too, look across. That same teacher,
Mm.
that teacher was at I think about a 6 or 7 point on the
Yes,
same band four. That teacher would have been earning 600 to $700,000 more.
oh man, that
Yes,
same
man.
teacher and the
Yes.
same. All
And the
right, so you
same
say
band four.
one, two, three, four, five, six.
And the same band four.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six at band six is 3.3. Band seven, 3.4. Band 8,
Yes,
3.5. No, the teacher would have been in the old system on level 8 or level 9, which would have been 3.6, 3.7. If you notice, if the teachers were placed, even the final band 10, the line 10, the teacher would have been receiving 3.8. So it would have
yes,
been better if the teacher placed there than at band 6. At band 6, you realize what is happening?
yes. I see that. But the point I'm making is,
Mhm.
how do you get on the scale then, on the point, going across?
Going
How do you
across.
get
And
on the point?
that's where the mistake was made because you can't kill experience. Experience carry you across. And that's where a grave mistake was made. Everybody is placed. Nobody passes four, you know. Everybody is scooped between 1 and 3 because it's a saving mechanism for the government to meet budget.
And so when it's your time to negotiate, they can take us to band six. But by then, where would be the economy?
Teachers will have to be scattered across because of their experience.
So all those across going from band, I think they stop at point six, right? So on band four, point six. There's no other teacher beyond point six. Is that so?
No, there's no other teacher beyond point four. Very few teacher pass point four.
Not band, the point I'm saying,
The
going
point,
across.
yeah, no, very few teachers pass. Nobody, even the principals, nobody pass point four. In the scale you look at,
Hmm.
any scale you look at,
Nobody passed.
no, very few people would say so that is where the experience comes in, you know, because teachers who just join the system, and that's where the real confusion comes in the system, or where the real the disgruntled feeling come into the system, where I have been teaching for 20 years. You just come and start, and I am just getting almost the same like you are getting.
Hmm.
So it's like you don't count my experience,
And that is
which,
sad.
which is sad.
So this will be one of your strong points in negotiations.
Definitely,
Most
you
definitely.
cannot kill my experience.
And I'm telling you, this whole system, because to date, I don't think I have the full understanding, yes, of the measures and how it has been implemented, so to speak. So I am unable to even help my own brothers and sisters, my own colleagues, in getting some assurance to see where, and listen, and I'm gonna call the name because Mark Malava,
Mhm,
I have him on this very show, and he would have broken down to
mhm,
us
mhm.
the amount of monies that we have lost because we are not on certain band. In your view, sir, I'm not gonna ask you about what he says,
Mhm,
but can you, in any way, shape, or form,
mhm.
say to us where or how much we have lost because we are not being placed at the right band or on the right
I
band?
don't know if we can say we lose something that we never get enough. I don't know if we can say we lost something that we didn't get.
Or we were robbed then.
Yes,
Can we say we were robbed?
what we are worth based on how the study placed us, based on the recommendation, we
Hmm.
can say that if it is that the recommendation was adhered to, we would have gotten, I think, 4.2 at the beginning for the teacher. And so if that were the case, his calculations would have been correct. But I don't know if we can say we were robbed because we didn't get something and it was taken from us.
I wish we were not given what should have been
Yes, we can say we were not given what
outlined.
we recommended, and we can, and to argue it sensibly would be to say this is what was recommended.
Yes.
Teachers would have been getting X amount, but the government did not give us the recommendation. We need to get answers from the government as to why they took their recommendation as the study gave them, but yet they did not give us our recommendation or recommended amount from the study. That's a stronger argument. Well, we
Okay.
can't say we were robbed something that we didn't get. Because if I rob you, it would mean that it's something that you would have had that I take away from you.
Okay. All
So
right.
maybe the
Fair enough.
term and terminology is not necessarily
Is
correct.
that right?
Mm.
All right, sir. I want to piggyback back on your statement or one of the point as it relates to giving the teachers cars or car loan at
Mhm.
0%. My thing about that, or the problem that I foresee with that,
Mhm.
they would have charged us more taxes.
I mean, charge us more taxes to cover
Yes.
that.
Hmm.
Remember, it's a system that
We
can be set
can't
up.
pay the interest rate. We'll have to pay tax.
They?
If we are not paying the interest rates, we'll have to pay it over in taxes.
Well, you see, we have to give and take something. You see, I'm saying we have to ensure that we put some incentives in place so that teachers can feel appreciated and feel like government wants us to remain here.
Mhm.
Teachers, I mean, it cannot be that we expect everything, free. When I say 0%, I mean we're paying back for it. It's just that we're not paying any interest. Remember, it's not free we're asking for. We are paying back for it. But it's just that we are not paying any interest because it's an incentive because you cannot pay us. You are not paying us what we ought to be paid. So it's an incentive to us now to tell us that, hey, I can lend you $3 million at no interest. It's not costing the taxpayers any additional money.
you know, Again, sir, I can't stop but saying, but most, if not all of you as candidates would have, you know, having similar ideas. Yes, talk about housing, talk about cars, talk about livable wage. Yes, you talk about
And
welfare.
I don't use the term livable.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just putting
Livable is relevant.
yes, but worth then
Yeah, yeah, worth. I say what I'm worth.
what
Because
they
what
are
is
worth. All
livable
right.
for me in
Mhm.
Manchester might not be livable for you in St. Catherine.
Well, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
because
right.
our
You're right.
our patterns, our lifestyles, everything is different. So I think
And your parish is much more expensive than my parish, so
exactly. So we look at base pay, not livable.
not livable. All right. So the truth is no, sir. All of these things that you're asking for, is it really feasible? So you need free education, tertiary education. You need $40 million. What is it again?
The up
Existing
to
tertiary grant to move up to
yes,
40 million. Yes.
yes,
0% interest rate on cars. Housing facilities. All of that you're bundling
yeah.
into your negotiation. The reality of it, and we look at our own government system, put away what we think we want.
Mhm.
Do you really believe this is feasible? From a president, a man who's gonna run an association, an organization, a
No,
unit, right? Put it towards that. So
no,
is it really feasible?
no, Saudi. When you look across this America, and when you look at the amount of money that Georgia is now paying to retain and attract the brighter minds or attract people in education, it
Mhm.
means that they are somewhat serious about education.
But they can afford it.
It- it-
Their
but
economy,
but we can afford it.
we
We
can.
we afford what we want to afford. We afford what we
Interesting.
want to afford. Any government in Jamaica afford what they want to afford. So if it is that we are serious about education, we must be in a position, put the system in a position where our teachers are comfortable living and do and not have to necessarily live at the credit union, depleting their salaries.
Sir, yeah, burn bad lamp for credit union.
No, 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 and not necessarily. And no, they thrive on loans, but at the end of the day, it makes no sense that a teacher borrows more than the teacher earns, and at the end of the month, the teacher's bottom line cannot suffice the teacher's simple lifestyle. And it's not that you want to borrow, it's that you have to borrow because if somebody's sick, what you going to do but to borrow to take them? You don't have a choice because you don't have any savings.
go go to the Jamaica Teacher Association welfare.
That alone sometimes is not enough. You get a little change, but that alone sometimes is not enough, and that would not be your first call either.
Sir, I think the JTA makes a lot of money from dues. A whole lot of money. Big money. Big, massive money. I think the association can do more too. Away from plan to set this fee structure on a level playing field. Based on the structure of the JTA, I think you could do more to assist the teachers. Maybe buying furniture, some chairs for some of these teachers in the schools, because some of these schools really can't afford it. And I'm sure that JTA and their structure probably can pay some teachers' salary in our school for years without being, you know, really pressured. Looking around that line, what do you say about that?
I think, of course, there are other things that the JTA can do. Even as it relates to housing, the JTA could assist, identifying lands and purchasing and building houses and giving the same rent to own facility that I talk about. JTA
Exactly.
could take on some of those because of course there's money. We have money investing, so of course JTA could take on some of those for our members because you have to be remember, it's life, it's salaries and conditions of service, and if you notice, my manifesto is not chunked into any salaries, into any conditions of service, into any different sector, whatever. My manifesto speaks to the items in general because all items falls under salaries and conditions of service.
So, sir, you're trying to say, because people, we have a few minutes to go to the end of the show, and we'll take it in the next 13 minutes. But the point is, sir, as you mentioned that JTA could do the lands. I have reliably informed that JTA has a lot of property. I'm not sure if these properties are land or buildings. I am not sure.
Most is building. We just have
Most
a
of
piece. We have a prime lot in Mandeville.
prime lot.
Prime lot in Mandeville.
Is that a lot that can be lotted into different sectors to build house or housing?
Where it is located, I doubt it could be a good housing spot, but
Is
it could be a conference center
oh,
in central Jamaica. You build a conference center in central Jamaica. Now you're talking about a lucrative business
so I
because
guess that's on the table then.
you make this. All we can do, sir, is make suggestions. But I guess there are some issues too with the land itself and access to it. So that's another kettle of
So
fish that.
may I ask, and I ask this question, I don't ask others because of your experience and involvement in the JT. So JT would have had building in every parish.
In every parish.
Yes.
Not in every parish. We don't have JTA doesn't have building in every parish really.
Okay, okay.
We have 4 regions, so we have regional offices
Those regional offices belong to the JT or they are
belong
rent?
to belong to the JTA. From what I know, the offices belong to the JTA.
The regional offices. Is the What is the main difference? How far apart are coming to your term, stranger? The JTA Credit Union. What's the relationship are the, how would I say it now? What's the relationship with the JTA Credit Union and the JTA Association by itself?
That might be bigger than my pay grade. That might
You
be big,
serious?
that might be bigger than my pay
No,
grade.
you're playing politics and Saudichress tonight, man.
No man, that might be bigger than my pay grade at the moment. The JTA Credit Union. Um,
Is it an arm of the JTA Association?
I said that's bigger than my pay grade. I cannot.
No, sir.
It's definitely not an arm of the JTA because we have members now who are not members of JTA, who are members of the credit union. So it's definitely not an arm of the
But it's by choice. They were, some of them were,
yeah,
and
but that
removed
is
their membership.
yeah, but that is bigger than my pay grade.
Okay, no problem, no problem. All right, so Tom Stranger is asking, do teachers have medical insurance?
Of
Yes,
course
we
we
do
do.
have, we do
We do
have.
have.
And
Is it enough? That's the question. To reflect the realities of the now health market, it is not enough. Because I'm a
okay,
family man. I'm a family man, you know. I do have children.
so
And
your
so
family plan can cover
yes, my
your,
family plan cannot necessarily cover the health needs of the family for the year if it is that somebody gets sick or whatever. By the time you make two visits to the hospital to the doctor, you basically deplete all of the resources that are there. So that in itself needs to be topped up to reflect the realities of the market. Because of course,
and
teachers, our work environment, and we can base that, sir, on our work environment, the stressful environment in which we do operate now is bringing on more sickness on teachers than before. So you have to ensure that you take care of our health. We have regional offices, or we could even give JTA could even subscribe members to gyms, So because we have to ensure that we take care of the human self.
yes,
So that part of it is really needed. No.
I remember, so I don't know if they still have,
Mhm.
where JTA, your JTA card would have given you a discount at some business places, car dealerships, or, you know, are those still on the table?
Yes, we do have some places that still give us discount. Some automotive places, some I think some pharmacies, some other business places do give us discounts, and the list continue to expand as the officer communicate with the relevant businesses, and they join us for teachers business.
Okay. Because I'm just saying that to say, you probably could have put in now the welfare part of it, get yourself aligned with some gyms and
Yes.
sporting
So that
facility
discount, yes,
that can
that's a
assist.
good idea. Very good.
You have to pay me for that, it was not a
Thank you.
membership.
Thank you. We could get
But
discount
yes,
on
man, it's a good
gyms.
one.
Yes,
It's a
it
good
is
one.
a good one.
Sir, why would you want the GTA offices, yes, to retrofit with solar panels?
Now, if we retrofit with solar panels, our bills show that we pay about $12 million for electricity for the year. If we retrofit with
12
social,
million.
12 million. So if
Yes.
we are in that region, so if we retrofit with solar panels, it would mean that we'll be saving $12 million. That $12 million could do a whole heap of work for teachers. We have contact teachers who serve the system who don't even get an incentive for the year. So that money could assist in incentivizing our contact teacher program. And we would have a more robust contact teacher system because the persons are being compensated. Encouragement sweetens labor. It's not that you're paying persons, but encouragement sweetens labor. So if even a one-off per year, the contact teacher gets an envelope to say thank you for your service, and there's a little voucher in it for them to do whatever. It's encouraging. So those are some of the things that we can probably start looking at to make our association a more robust, live association, because the
You
contact teacher
know,
system definitely is not working.
all right, O'Neill, you say you get on late. I got on late, yes, but I appreciate the little portion that I have seen. One thing with What you saying? Profession. So you couldn't tell me, so you can't. And you make me come and introduce you. That's why I say introduce yourself, because he's going to be his wow, positive, authentic self. All the best during your campaign.
Thank
Sir,
you, sir. Thank you, sir, honey.
all right. You see, you I get all I big up. Only on the Saudichress Show, people. Mr. Mac,
Mhm.
as we said, we have a few minutes to go, but there are two questions that I really want to get to. One more from your itinerary. Now, sir, we have seen in recent time, and you made mention of, putting certain security measures to, you know, um, where you want to, I want to coin it my way, as it relates to teachers being attacked and how you
Yeah.
deal with that. In recent times, violence in our school has been rampant. It's not, I wouldn't say it's widespread because it's a minority. It's not a wide number comparing to the amount of schools that we have and children. But the truth is, as the next JTA president, not gonna ask you as a principal now, but as the next JTA president, just give us one major, yes, impact, not alright. Give us one intervention that you believe will impact, yes, the situation of violence in our school.
Well, the school is a microcosm of the society. And what happens in society definitely impact our schools. What has happened over the years is that our social life, our family life has depleted. I try to raise a family. I try to raise, yes. So I believe in family life
Mhm.
because without family life, we can't have a good society. So it comes from there. What happens is that we need to stem the issue. We need to find the root of the issue. The things that we can do now is to ensure that we have school psychologists. Right now, the guidance counselors cannot manage the level of trauma that is out there that the children are facing. So we need school psychologists to come in and do some work with them. To stem the program though, at the beginning, at the level, I proposed this to the Minister of Education already, that we have a program that is called the PATH program. Children are born to parents and they are born without a prescription of how to raise them. Nobody gets the manual. So once you have the PATH program, and we know that children are having children these days,
Mhm.
so you have the PATH program. Once a person is pregnant and enrolls in the PATH program, the person begins to reap benefits. How the person will reap benefit is if the person attends parenting classes. You have to prepare the mother and the father to raise the child. So you have parenting classes. You're not paying people to learn parenting, but you have to incentivize it so that you start to stem the issue at that level. So that is something that I think they could employ going forward. Our children now that are in the school, in the high school, in the primary school, parents should have to attend a certain number of PTA meetings in order to benefit from monetarily from the PATH program. So you tie that also with the attendance of the child because you must have the parents working with the school. If the parents work with the school, home and school working together can help to stem the problem. But home is saying one thing, school is saying another thing. When the child comes to school, the child is expected to perform certain way, and then the child goes back home is a different environment the child goes back into. So we have to stem it with home and school. I see somebody says social workers are also necessary
Mhm.
to assist in the process. So we're talking about spending some big money, because look here, if we don't spend the money at the preventative measure, we are going to spend it
Mm,
at the
correction.
other end. at the corrective measure. And the corrective measure is going to be the penal system. So we don't want to end up there. So we do the preventative mode. And that is why I use the tagline proactive leadership. You work ahead. You're not reactive, but you are ahead, a step of the game, so that you can help to minimize some of the ills that are happening in our society.
Okay, sir. When is the election?
Election is the third week of June. The election is going to be physical. The election is going to be run
No,
by the contact teacher.
no. So we're going back to the old days. No electronic
No
voting.
electronic because we are not there yet. So it's a contact teacher will run the election. So teachers must go out and ensure that they put their X squarely beside Eaton McNamee and ensure that we take the JTA, we take teaching to the next level because we cannot remain static. It's a process that continues to change, and we must change with the system. We can't let the system change, and we are at the same place.
You see, you jump on a road a while ago, and me no understand how you go like a year on the show, Mr. Mark.
And make sure, Mr. Sadi,
Because
that you vote Ethan McNamee.
you, you have to show me how Saudichress are gonna benefit boss. All right. So maybe Saudichress can cover the elections, yes? And see what's happening. I want to try something. But sir, yes, the election is coming up, and I know you just said a little piece, but for those who are here right now, yes, seriously,
Mhm.
and for those who are listening, even your fellow candidates, and those who will be watching later on, tell us how to vote. You have said a little piece. Just in summary, tell us
All right.
why Ethan McNamee
So the
is the
so the, so,
best candidate.
so the third week of June is the
So
election.
it's 1 week, sir, or 1 day?
1 week.
1 week of
Just get a
election.
week. Some
But
parishes choose different days,
hold on, hold on.
but the election runs for the week.
So question. So if Clarendon is going on a Monday, they can go for 2 days in the week or just 1 day.
Yes, they can go for two, they can go for one.
But say you don't think that sort of election or this sort of system lend to corruption?
Then that's another question for another show.
I want to get you on a debate, sir, with
They
some
can,
other candidates.
that's another question for
Like,
another show.
all right, sir, continue. Tell us.
So in the third week of this election, yeah, we're not looking for a principal. We're not looking for a classroom teacher. We're looking for someone with the requisite experience, the one who has been tested and proven. We're looking for a representative who knows the issues, who understands the issues, who can articulate the issues that teachers face and make representation at the highest level. This comes through experience. Advocates are not born overnight. Advocates come advocacy come through experience. Colleagues, we have to be careful whose hand we put our lives in at this moment. Make sure that you put your votes, your trust in the steady hand who has proven over the years that he has represented teachers at all levels, one who has experience at all levels of the education sector, from early childhood up to tertiary, one who knows the way, one who has been with the people, with the teacher, one who is from the teacher, one who is for the teacher. In the third week of June, ensure you vote proactive leadership. Vote genuine Eaton McNamee, one who speaks what he means and means what he speaks. My word is my bond. Integrity is important to me. Vote Eaton McNamee. God bless you.
Here you have him, people. Couldn't be. Sounds like a real politician. I hope that he's not one of the Americans that we are hearing all along. But I trust in Mr. McNamee myself, just like everybody else. I'm not yet, sir. I'm gonna tell you straight. I don't make up my mind yet. I have a
after,
few more candidates to come.
after such an interview.
No, and when I say I don't make up my mind, because I
Yeah,
have others
yeah,
to
I
carry
know.
on, and
I
I'm just saying that. But it's a very good show, and I must say to you that we do appreciate chat is really up and about. Our brother, see Rosemary, she was just listening all along, but now she come to say that the delegate's position should stand no matter what. I don't know what she means. If she's saying for you or for anyone else. But that I understand, Rosemary, not a problem. But the truth of the matter, sir, and people in the chat, I respect your views. You have clarified a lot that we have been hearing and reading about as it relates to your own manifesto. And of course, the Saudichress Show is here. We wish you all the best. And sir, I'm looking forward to have a debate just before the election. I don't know if you are willing and ready if you will go, but just put it out. Those who are interesting too. So this time, and I will say this is where we end, people. I want to big up your Rosemary, Tamara, blessings. Let me see what Tamara saying on her last bet. Proactive leadership weekend. You hear that? People, this is it. I don't know if you'll hear him or see him on any other show with such close interaction. I know he's all over the radio lines and so on. But of course, Saudichress Show always bring out the best in people and will continue to do that. So of course, this is where we say goodbye to you. And I want to thank Tamara. Thank you, Rosemary, Georgia, Carlene. Yes, all of you that are actually in the chat. Tom Stranger, the man out of so O'Neill who came in late, big up yourself as well. And I want to say big up to no other one but Joan Simpson as well. Yes. Anne Marie, big up everybody. RR who came in earlier. Joy, yes. Big up yourself everywhere today and continue to join the Saudichress Show. Charlotte, I want to say that I hope I pronounce that name properly as well. All of you, so many names, too many names to call. Mr. Lee, Naka, D. Cardova, blessings to all. And this is really goodbye. Until then, we see you again. Mr. McNamee, blessings, man. Blessings and all the best to you right through the rest of the campaign and through the elections. This is where we say again goodbye to you. Until next time.